showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Styling and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Monday to you. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, brother. Yeah, happy Labor Day, bud. Guess what? It's game week, brother.
Finally, good Lord. We are 3 days away from opening kickoff Lions versus Chiefs, and we are 7 days away from Monday Night Football, 9/11, Buffalo Bills versus New Jersey Jets. I am pumped up. What a great weekend this is going to be, a football week and weekend, and I just cannot wait, man. I can't wait, man. It seems like it's been forever. I think this off season has, I don't know why, it seems a lot longer than last off seasons, for me at least. Last off season seemed to, like, go by a lot quicker, bro.
I think it had to do with the way the season ended.
You may be right.
Because the year before we had the 13-second debacle, but we were still very high on the team. This season, with how bad we played against the Bengals, it just seems like it's just dragged on. Yeah,
bro. Yeah, that was a bad way to exit the playoffs, no doubt about it. Just because the way we played terrible.
Yep.
Can't.
So tonight,
go ahead.
So tonight is our prediction show. We will go. We'll pull up the schedule. We'll do the schedule predictions, and then I have a list of over-unders for the Bills for this season that we can talk about based off of last year's numbers. We're gonna go over/under on offense and defensive categories.
All right. Let's do it. So by the way, anything happened over the weekend? I like Buffalo Bills related? I don't think so, right? It was kind of quiet.
I didn't see anything from the Buffalo Bills. I saw that the Miami Dolphins re-signed Robbie Chosen Anderson or Robbie Chosen.
Yeah.
To the practice squad. But nothing from the Bills. It's been a really quiet,
right?
Really, really quiet.
Nothing. There was no.
Everyone was gone. Everyone was gone.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend. I understand, but there was not much. I'm assuming probably practice hits up either tomorrow or Wednesday. For sure tomorrow or Wednesday. But
tomorrow.
That's when you're gonna start hearing things. Out of practice and I'm very interested about the Kirksey situation. Very curious how fast he catches up with the playbook and if he'll be on the 53 on Monday night. You know what I mean? If he's called up or not. Very curious how that works out.
Okay, here's a couple things for the AFC East. The Patriots placed starting right tackle Riley Reef on IR. The Dolphins picked Mike White over Thompson to be QB2.
That's a right decision. Yeah.
And the Jets cornerback boasts that the Jets defense will be historical in 2023.
Yeah, that I saw. That's funny. He's saying it's going to be like the 85-86 Bears. Okay. Once again, look, I'm a realist. I get it. And by the way, somebody said I'm a homer today on one of my videos I did. No, not a homer. If you're watching, definitely not a homer. But anyways, listen, the Jets, I'm a realist. They're a good team, right? They are a good team. They're an upcoming good team. They got a very good young defense. But I still don't think they put it all together yet. They're still young. They're still learning. Their coach is fairly new at being a head coach. They still got a lot to prove before they could come knocking on the AFC East title door, right? And that's what I keep telling even Lions fans down here, Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down. Like, if you're a fan of that team, and I get it, like, you have high expectations going to the next season, just be happy if you make the playoffs. Like, have some, don't be unrealistic. You're talking about me being unrealistic with my team. Listen, we know what we got here in Buffalo. We know what we have. What do you have there? That's the question. And you guys finished last year. The Jets did, right? With the same defense, Mikey. The only difference is bringing in the quarterback. And I get it. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer, no doubt. But he's also a year older. He didn't look too sharp last year. You don't know how he's going to work with his team. So if I'm a Jets fan, I'm slowing down. Hey, let's see how the season goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. And I get it. It is what it is, man.
It's so odd. Salah's talking about how they're going to be the run in the East. And like, the dude hasn't had a winning season yet.
Right.
Why?
Talk, man.
I don't understand why they say stuff like that.
I don't get it. Cause they're going to be eating crow, bro. I'm going to tell you right now, man, let your actions speak, right? Like, that's one thing I respect out of Buffalo, at least like Sean McDermott. He has that thing down pat with the players. Like, hey, because I don't recall any player coming out and be like, bro, we're the shit. We're fucking, this defense going to be fucking, they don't even say top five. They just say, hey, we're a good team, right? We got a good players here. Like, they're real about it, but they're also not boasting. And listen, you know who the last guy that boasted was on the Buffalo Bills? Rex fucking Ryan. And he got fired. Okay. That's not what we do here. We let our actions speak. Right. And it's shown. So let them talk, man. Let all those Dolphins and Jets fans talk.
Yeah, it's funny. Triggs comes in and says, sorry, that's not happening in this NFL era. And then let them talk that talk. Yeah. It's funny. It's so funny. And you know, you could tell who the media darlings are. The Jets are the media darlings. The Miami Dolphins are the media darlings. You know, like you put out a video today talking about, you know, Chris Sims and Mike Florio saying the Bills are could end up in 4th this year.
Isn't that wild, bro? So all that, listen too, and like all that crap. This is what I hate too about national media. Like some guys, especially guys like Chris Sims, who I kind of respect him a little bit, but at times I'm like, and he's already starting to turn into this clown, like starting to join this other people. So how are you going to do this cheesy ass song? Like, you respect Buffalo Bills, you respect Josh Allen. By the way, that song's so cringy. That giddy up. That even Josh Allen, when he played, I could tell he was like, oh god, this is terrible. But how are you going to kiss his ass, right? Kiss Buffalo's ass, and all of a sudden now we're a 4th place team potentially. Like, it makes no sense to me. So it's like, all right, you know what? Don't come jumping back on the Bills bandwagon when we once again win the East and heading into the playoffs. Don't do that, because we don't want you. You know what I mean? We never wanted you to begin with. You just decided to jump on board with your stupid ass song. Nobody wanted you. But then we were like, all right, well, you know, like Bills Mafia does. All right, we'll welcome you. And now you're going to like basically backstabbing us. Okay, cool, man. The only guy that isn't, I'll be honest, so far, Kyle Brandt seems to be still, you know, like, hey, Buffalo Bills still dangerous. Like,
you
cool,
want to know
at
who
least
else?
He's a realist.
Yeah. And it's the person that I never thought would. Joy Taylor.
Oh, she turned too?
No. She hasn't. She's like, dude, pump the brakes on this. The Bills are dead stuff. We haven't seen the Jets play. You know, she's a huge Dolphins fan. And she's like, and everyone's talking about, you know, oh, they got Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's gone until December.
Right.
Like, how about we let them play first?
Right. You don't know what, you have no idea. We can at least say, like, I'm just saying, Mikey, this is not a new team, the Buffalo Bills, like what we have here. We have some new players, but we have the same talented players that's gotten us to the playoffs, right? 6 of the 7 years, or 5 of the last 6 years with McDermott, that won the East 3 times straight. Like, these are the same pieces, right? Josh Allen, right, is only getting better. Stephon Diggs is only getting better in his prime. We have same core guys. Why all of a sudden we are going to just fall off a cliff and just be in 4th place? It just drives me insane, man. You have no idea what Dolphins and Jets are going to do. They haven't even stepped on the field yet. And if you look from, like I said, from last year, if you want to go with the Dolphins, they got the same team minus Ramsey, who's not going to be there till December anyway. So what makes them any better? They're really going on. It just blows my mind, Mikey.
But you know what? They did the same thing last year with the Broncos. Remember the Broncos? The Chiefs were dead, and there's the Broncos division
and the Raiders. They bumped that whole division up.
It was the Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers, and the Chiefs were dead after they got rid of Tyreek. Remember? So it's what they do. Gonna be mad this year. Dorsey's last year. Steph will be traded. I don't see Steph. We can't trade Steph at this offseason. If you look at his contract, Steph's here for another 3 years. If you trade Steph, you lose money, and we can't have that dead cap on our roster.
Right.
So unless they completely blow up the team and say we're going to suck for the next 2 years, and they're not going to do that inside Josh's prime. Steph's here.
Yeah, I can't see that happening either.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. So let's jump into the prediction, buddy.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's get that schedule up here. Here we go.
Triggs said, "Don't listen to Mr. Conspiracy, Mike Florio. He's a clown. He is a clown." Man. All right. So week 1, Bills at Jets Monday night. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Go for it, brother.
I have us a win here.
I got a win here as well. Monday Night Football in New Jersey. Listen, man, we've heard. Listen, the players definitely have heard the noise. All of them, right? All the critics, I'm sure they have, and they're out to prove a lot of people wrong, to hush a lot of people up, and I think they come out here swinging. I do. I think they're going to be well prepared. Josh, it seems like he is super, super motivated this season. And I think Stephon Diggs as well, man. So this new offensive line, this new defensive scheme that we're running out there, the Jets are not going to see what's coming, to be honest with you. They're probably thinking about the Buffalo Bills defensive pass, and I think we're going to surprise them. I do. I think we're going to get to Rodgers. Rodgers is not as mobile as he used to be. You know that. He's more of a pocket passer now. And I think we get to Rodgers, which will ultimately be how this game is played, which is going to be a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, forcing him to get rid of the ball. And yeah, that's how I see it, man. So I think we win this game. I don't think it's close. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's as close as a lot of people think. I think we win by at least 10 points or more. And listen, I don't think we're going to score a crazy amount of points, but I also don't think we're going to only score 13 either. Like I could see this game being like a 27-17 game. That's how I see that game coming about. And yeah, I have us winning.
All right, cool. And I'll get into our prediction this Friday on our preview show. But I have a win there. And Triggs, I love that. I love that, Triggs. This is the only way I'd be cool of us trading Steph is if we get Marvin Harrison Jr. to replace him. Other than that, you're staying in Buffalo, brother. Yeah,
he ain't going. He ain't going anywhere. Bro.
His contract is a poison pill. We can't do it. Also, you have to remember for the Jets, and we'll get into all this on Friday night, that offensive line has been shaky all preseason.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Rodgers has been nice and calm and fun-loving and been good Uncle Rodgers. But now things
don't go right, Mikey. You know what I mean? So he may be all fun right now and calm and cool and collective. But we know who Aaron Rodgers is.
Yeah, he starts getting hit. He's not going to be
or when players drop a ball that he doesn't, that he thought they should have caught, or they ran the wrong route he thought they should have ran, or he threw an interception. He's going to blame him. He's a lot like Dan Marino as far as putting the blame on somebody else. He is very much like that, and he has a core of young guys on that team. Going to be very interesting when things don't go right, how he handles it, especially with the media too.
They're gonna hit Rodgers like they hit Mike White last year, and he's gonna be
Oh,
pissed.
we're gonna be going after him.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Bill's gonna destroy Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. That's a good one. All right, so week 2, we both have us at 1-0. Week 2, at Vegas or at home against Vegas.
Home. It's our home opener.
I have us going 2-0.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, Vegas is a kind of on a semi rebuild there, I guess you can call it. So yeah, I don't see that being a home game after a big win in New Jersey. I just cannot see the Raiders beating the Buffalo Bills at home.
Okay. So we're both 2-0. Then at Washington, week 3, I have us as a win, so I have us going 3-0.
Yeah, that's a win as well. They're a team that is on the come up. I think they're they have potential there. They're just not ready yet. You know what I mean? They're not quite there yet. They're kind of like a Detroit. I think Detroit's a little better right now, but they're ascending. They're just not. They're not on Buffalo Bills level yet. With personnel. Yeah,
and I think it's their quarterback. They're only going to go as far as
exactly.
As the quarterback takes them, and
exactly.
We'll see what they do. Week 4 at home against Miami. I think we win this one. I do think there's a possibility we split with Miami this year, but if we do, we're not going to lose at home. We don't lose at home against Miami. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, thank God. I'm glad that the schedule had us early in at Buffalo home. This time around. Yep. Right in Buffalo against Miami, so we're not in that crazy heat. But hey, for them too, though, they're not in the snow either. So really, it kind of cancels each other out in a way, because it's still. Let me tell you, I lived in South Florida most of my life. It don't matter. It's hot there all the damn time. May not be as hot as it was when we went there last year, but I'm gonna tell you, it's still damn hot and muggy. But anyways, I think we win this game as well at home. Who knows if Tua's even playing by this point? And that's no shot at Tua. I'm being real, guys. Like you never know with him, and look at his history. So, and they have some tough games as well early on. They got the Chargers, I believe, week 1. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
And then week 5, we go to London to face Jacksonville.
Crazy.
I have us losing here, and it's here why I have us losing here.
Okay.
Jacksonville's gonna already be there because they played there the week before.
Correct.
It's a shitty home game for the Bills. The Bills kind of get screwed here. We're flying over where they're already there, and when you go overseas, wacky shit happens. It's a 50-50 toss up, so I'm gonna mark it as a loss. I'm not confident that type of, because Jacksonville is an up and coming team as well.
They are as well. They're
really good. I like how they're set up, and with them already being there for a week and established, I think it's definitely benefits Jacksonville.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right, but I don't think you're right on the outcome. I think Buffalo wins, but I do agree that Jacksonville will have an advantage as far as them already being there from the week before, so that they're not on that that lag, that plane lag, right? And also, the Bills probably just played a hell of a game against Miami, right? Like that's going to be a tough game, even though I have Buffalo winning. But I get it. Like, you got to travel after a tough game, go to London right away. But I still think Buffalo has a better team and will figure it out in London and get that dub.
I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. I have an uneasy feeling about that. Like all the chips are stacked up against us that week, So I have an uneasy. So I'm just gonna go. And we don't play well overseas. We don't.
And we sucked in Toronto, and it was right next door.
Yep.
So there's no excuse there. But we were a bad team. A little different though.
Yeah. Okay. We come back home. Week 6 against the New York Giants, or really New Jersey Giants.
Yeah.
Brian Daboll and Joe Shane bring their fighting Dayballs to us. I have us winning here. I have us 5-1.
Yeah, I
Also,
have us
return of
winning
Von
this.
Miller.
Yeah, I think Vaughn comes back by week 6. I don't think he'll return week 5, guys, but I think he does come back week 6
Yeah.
against the Giants at home. I also think that the Bills pull this out. If you're going to match player by player, personnel versus personnel, we have the better quarterback. We have the better receiving group.
We have the better offense. We have the better defense.
We have the better defense.
Team.
So, like, yeah, exactly. So, and to be honest with you, we have the better coach. Let's be real. Like, no, and it's not a shot on Dable. I think Dable did I do. Listen, Dable right now is Mikey. Dable's 1 year in. You can't judge him on 1 year. I could judge Sean McDermott as a coach.
Okay.
6 years in, going into year 7, he's gotten us to the playoffs 5 out of 6, right?
Yep.
Dable's been there 1 year. You cannot go already and say Dable's better coach. He's been there 1 season. Yeah, I get it. He turned that team around, but there's been plenty of coaches that have done that 1 year and they went terrible the years after, right? That it just didn't work out. They had a good lucky season. I'm not saying that's going to happen for Dable, but I'm just saying it's a little bit too early to put him above better coach than Sean McDermott.
I don't think he's above Sean McDermott. There's certain things about Daboll's coaching I like that I don't like with Sean McDermott. Those late game stuff last year.
You got to make people mad.
That's fine. Yeah. You know, a lot of people aren't going to always agree with me. It's all good.
I hear you. Hey, it's all good.
Some of the late game decisions, Daboll is very calm. McDermott gets a little butt tightening in his late game when it's tight, you know, and we've talked about it.
Yeah,
I think that's where Daboll's also a offensive coach.
That probably does help him a lot, especially when it comes to offense. But I'm just saying overall. Yeah, no, I guess it's just my point is I understand where you're coming from. I just think it's too early to go to do that right now. Like to say he's the better coach.
You can't compare. It's apples to oranges right now. 1 year. Right. Shane and Daboll are following very much of the Bills' blueprint. Year 1, they sneak into the playoffs. Year 2, they probably aren't going to be as good as they were in year 1. They're not going to surprise people. You know, they're still in their rebuild.
Yeah.
So I think we get the win there. You know, I like what they're doing though. I do. I like what.
Sure, you can't hate it. Yeah, 100%.
And I wish them luck, except when they play the Bills.
Yep. I got you.
Week 7, at Gillette, at Josh Allen's house.
Yep.
Gillette. I have us winning here too. Belichick has struggled against the Bills post Tom Brady, and I don't see anything changing. I like what they've done defensively. I know that they brought in Bill O'Brien, Bob. I like him as an offensive mind, but I just don't think they have the skill players yet.
Smart decision by them, obviously, compared to what their dumb decision they made last year with the guy from their old coach. I forget his name, the pencil guy, but smart decision bringing him in, but they're just not there yet. I listen. I hate to say it, but Bill Belichick right now, since Tom Brady's left, is a 500, I think under 500 record right now since Brady's left. I think he's only made the playoffs once, and they got absolutely crushed by us, the Buffalo Bills. I don't believe in their quarterback. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think I think he's average across the board, and that's just not going to cut it in the NFL. I just feel like, listen, Bill Belichick has avoided the offense signing quality free agents for a long time. And I think he thought, he's thinking the same old way with Tom Brady. Can't think that way. Tom Brady's left. You see that, and they just haven't really improved that team much. Now, defensively, they're always going to be good as long as they got Bill Belichick. He can always make players play better than probably what they are. But I just feel like right now that's an 8-win team, probably something like that, 7-8 wins. So I think, I don't see any problem there. I don't think we're going to blow them out though, because New England, it's at New England. Their defense is still good. Exactly. So I think it's a win, but I don't think it's a blowout. But we probably win by, who knows?
So
9
you
points
have a 7-0. I have a 6-1 going into week 8. Week 8's at home against Tampa Bay.
Right.
I have us winning here. against the Fighting Baker Mayfields.
Oh, we got he's been in here before. What's going on, brother? Belichick seems to be supported mostly by past players in mind. He struggles in the modern. Yeah, I'm telling you, he really does.
Guys. He's one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick Mafia comes in and says, Bill loves Josh. Oh, yeah. He respects the hell out of him. Anybody who can do that to one of his defenses, he had to go over and shake his hand and say, I watched Bill Belichick destroy a phone against the Bills, and then that was before that playoff game where we completely destroyed them.
Right.
So what do you got for the Tampa Bay game?
Oh, that's a win. That team right there is kind of just break like in shambles, right? They are they got Mayfield over there who's probably gonna once again not work out with another NFL team. He's just not the answer. He'll have a couple of Mayfield games where he plays okay, but that team right there is starting to break, and you can see it. You saw it last year, and I mean, before you know it, Evans is going to be traded potentially. So yeah, that team right there is not the team that won the Super Bowl a few years back. That's an easy win, I think, for Buffalo, especially being at home.
I like let me get to that. Dunn comes in and says, we smacking Baker with the guy who should have been number 1 overall. Tricks with the comment, Belichick's Greg Popovich of the NFL. Ouch.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's funny. Okay, so going into week 9, now we start turning the page where our schedule starts getting really tough. We go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, here's where what we've been talking about, Mikey. The tail end of the season.
Yep. I'll tell you, I don't think we get a win here. This is where we pick up our second loss. And I don't think it's going to be a beatdown. I think it's going to be a back and forth game that we just happen to get a loss on the road.
Yeah. So I agree. So here's my first loss of the season. It's at Cincinnati. I think it is close. And I don't listen, by the way, don't be shocked if the Bills win though.
Yeah.
I think it's a close game. I think this is a game. I think this is a perfect game for them to learn a lesson as far as like, okay, especially for McDermott now that he's calling defense.
Yep.
Because heading in the playoffs, more than likely, we're going to see that team, right? More than likely. So go ahead, get your game over, learn a little bit, study off the film, take that L. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We're still at this point. For me, that's our first loss. So you're still in good shape, great shape, really. So yeah, I'm good there. But I think we lose that game.
Yeah. I could see us winning it as well as our Chiefs friend who's in here says, you got this. Revenge is a powerful motivation. I do agree. Revenge is powerful motivation. I just think it's a chess game. And now that McDermott's playing chess with him, he's going to see what they do this year. And then if we see him in the playoffs, we'll have their number.
Yeah.
Because McDermott's really good at the chess game part of it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I could see us winning that game too. But,
Yeah, so saying, it wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we beat the Chiefs twice, right? Like in the last, what?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
2 of the last 3.
It wouldn't be exactly. So it wouldn't shock me, but yeah, look what happened in the playoffs. So
yeah. Mahomes was Mahomes.
Right. But sometimes the regular season against these, I mean, it feels good, but you want to carry that into the playoffs against these teams, and we haven't done that.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. The Bengals are not respected in the league. You know what? I can see the Bengals also falling flat on their face. Like the Bengals have had a 2-year run that's been really good, but that was also with their division not very good. Their division's gotten a lot better this year too. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So then the next week we're at home against Denver. I have that as a W. Love Sean Payton. I love what he's going to do for Denver. I just think we have a better roster. Yeah,
we're home there. It's what is that? A Monday Night Football game there.
Yeah.
I think we play very good for the most part. In the big lights there on prime time. except for last year, which we all know that the game didn't even really count. But yeah, I think Denver. Listen, too, I understand they got Sean Payton. I get that, but we still don't know what that team's going to be. We still don't know if Russell Wilson can be the Russell Wilson of Seattle, right? What we saw last year was mediocre, and maybe he doesn't get better, or maybe he does. Maybe Sean Payton puts him in a good position. We'll see, but I don't know quite yet if we're ready to say Denver's going to be this totally different team now than what they were last year. But we'll see, But I still have us winning that game, yeah.
Yep. And then week 11, at home against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I have us winning that one. I have us sweeping the Jets this year.
Yeah, I'm on board with you there.
I think the Jets are better. I just don't think they're as good as everyone says they are. Until they prove it to me, I won't believe it.
I agree. I think we're at home again. Yeah, I think this is a win again.
Okay. Week 12 at Philly. I actually have us winning here. Usually there's one NFC team that we fall flat on our face this year. I don't think we do. I think we beat Philly and Philly.
Okay.
Philly's lost some of the defensive guys. They lost linebackers. They lost part of their defensive line. The secondary's been banged up. They surprised a lot of people last year. They're not going to take them by surprise this year. People are going to be ready for Philly this year. And they have a new offense and defensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. I have us winning as well. I think it's going to be a close game. They're a tough team. They got some hella weapons over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a very close game. I could also see Philly winning, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a shootout game, in my opinion. I think this is the kind of game, Mikey, that's going to come down to who has the last possession. That's the kind of game this is going to be, in my opinion. I think it's going to be damn close, and I think the Buffalo Bills wind up winning with the last possession. That's the kind of game I see that turning into.
Mm-hmm. Ravens Life comes in and says, "You all have no. I'm 10-2 right now through 12 games. You're 11-1.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, man,
we have a bye.
We ain't done yet.
Yeah. We have a bye.
Don't forget, we went 13-3 last year, and I just stay undefeated, but. The year before, I think I had something. I was very close. So, yeah.
Week 13, we have a bye. Week 14, we're at Kansas City. I think we lose in Kansas City this year. We've won in Kansas City in the regular season the last 2 years, and then they got us in the playoffs. These two teams match up so well against each other.
Yeah,
and it's always come down to one play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
I don't think that we just keep winning in Kansas City. It's just not one of the things. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that Arrowhead one. But you also have Chris Jones back because it's after week 8.
Right.
I think we can beat Kansas City. I just can't keep giving us wins against Kansas City and Kansas City.
So here's how I see the same way you see it this year. I think it's at Kansas City. And here's the deal, too. And here's the big deal for Mikey.
What?
What's that game coming after?
Yeah, Dallas.
No. At Kansas City, right before that, week 13. What is that?
Oh, it's the bye. Yeah, we always struggle coming out of the bye. Every freaking year we struggle. We struggled against the Jets when the Jets were garbage.
Got some Dolphins the year before.
Yeah.
Listen. Guys, the truth, you all know. See, here it is. So just to let you know, the Homer thing, I'm a realist. And I got to tell you guys, we're bad. We play bad after the bye. The first game. First 2 games, really. I'm going to tell you, the first 2 games are sloppy as hell coming off the bye week. And then we get it back together again and start we start rolling again. Here it is. We win in Philly, at Philly. We go on our bye, all hyped up. We slack off whatever the hell we're doing again. We go to Kansas City and we lose. And I definitely have that as an L because just the reason I said it's a bye week. We never play good off the bye week.
We always win after the bye. We're 6-0.
We win, but we play super sloppy, and we haven't ever played a team like Kansas City after the bye. We've played teams that we should have whooped up on.
Yeah.
or beaten pretty good, and we had super close games. And then the next week we look like even worse. So no, that game's a loss.
Scott comes in. No, Scott thinks we're going 20-0. We know.
Yeah, hey, I know. I did it last year, so I don't blame you, brother.
No, Chewy, stop it. Stop it. We're not losing to the Cowboys. Week 15 at home against the Cowboys. I have us winning. So
okay,
I have us 11-3 after 14 weeks.
So normally, because I said the first two games are pretty bad after the bye, and that will be the second. We're home against Dallas. We've played very well against Dallas with this team. I think we win this game. I don't trust Dak. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big Dak guy. I don't think he plays in big games for me at least. I think we win that game at home.
Okay.
Yep.
And then at the Chargers, I love the Chargers, but this will be late in the season, and they usually falter down the stretch.
Oh yeah, big time.
So I have us winning here.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
And they're such a weird team. The Chargers, so
weird. They really are. They really
on paper,
really
they're legit, boy. On paper, you'd be like, man, that's a contending team, right? But they just seem like they can never put it together, bro. Whatever it is going on over there, they just can't put it together.
And then at home against New England,
that's a win. That's a win. Yeah.
Yep. And then at Miami, and I think we take a loss here.
I think we take a loss because we don't play our starters here.
Yeah. I think we already have the division wrapped up. I don't think we have a shot for the. I think the 1 seed is already probably gone. And
exactly.
I have us going.
Kyle Allen is playing. So.
Yeah. I have us going 13-4. You have us going
14-3.
14-3. So
pretty damn close.
Yeah. Like I told you,
hey, that's not unrealistic, guys. Listen, we get it's a tough schedule, and by the way, a lot of these games can go one way or the other. Like, very close. Yes, some of these games are super close.
Yeah, the Miami game is another one who's questioning. So I have us going 13-4. You have us going 14-3.
Yeah.
I told you for coming in offline. I said our floor is 11 wins. Our ceiling is 14 wins. And I knew I'd come in somewhere in between there and going through this. So I could see us losing to the Eagles, or dropping one random one throughout the year that we shouldn't drop, maybe to like Dallas or something coming off that bye, that 2-game stretch you're talking about, and us going 11-5 or 11-6. But I just don't see it. Okay. Knock that crap off. Stop Josh Allen okaying me, you jerk.
Yo, I'm going to be playing that all year.
You've done it to me like 4 times tonight.
Oh, my God, dude.
I give you a floor and a ceiling, and you're just like, okay. So let's transition now. We did the prediction show. Let's go into some over unders. Obviously, we're both on the over for wins, which is at 10.5. Considering you have them at 14, I have them at 13. Yeah. So let's go passing yards. And these are all based off of last season. Passing yards at 4,200. I have us as over. We only played 16 games last year, so
Yeah, I have it as over because I think we have more weapons this year on offense for Allen, to throw the ball to. But I think this offense also is going to be a little bit more creative now that we have those weapons. For Josh Allen, I still think we are a pass first team. That's not going to change. So Allen's, it's not going to go. I still don't think it's going to go 60-40. I still have a feeling it's going to be a 70-30 passing team. Somewhere around there. I want it to be 60-40. I hope in a way it does, but I just kind of still
is what it's been.
Yeah, around there, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. I still think it's going to be a heavy pass offense. But Yeah, I just think with the new additions that we got, I think Josh goes over that. Yeah.
I love you, Scott. I'm glad you're here tonight, brother. He says 5,000 passing yards, 50 TDs. Our buddy over at Arrowhead Drive says, make some buffalo wings before the Eagles game. You'll win. Yes, love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Since I came late, who do you think will win the Jets? The Bills. Yeah, we actually, Tommy and I both have the Bills sweeping the Jets this year, week 1,
correct,
and then later in the season as well.
Yeah, I think the Bills. I think the Bills win by at least 10 points opening night, Monday Night Football. In my opinion, I think they'll control that game. I don't think it's going to be like an unbelievable blowout, but I think we win. Good, by at least 10, 10-13, somewhere around there.
Chewy, that is a weird number, brother. He says the Bills are going to throw for 4,976 yards.
I know that is a weird.
That is an odd number.
Could happen.
I'd love to see Josh get a 5,000 yard season. I have a feeling with our running game now, and we are going to run the ball more. I think it's going to be closer to a 60-40 split.
Okay, I hope I do
because we've been around 65-35 up to this point.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I think we're gonna be closer to I would love to see it be a little bit more. I'd love us to run, more like 57, 43 and start getting closer to a 50-50 split. I don't think we will ever get there because we're a passing offense.
Yeah.
And we have a alien at quarterback. But hey, if the Bills win more than 12, I'll buy Mikey a new hat. What's wrong with my hat?
Mikey just bought new hats.
I have 2 new hats. What's wrong with my hats now?
Come on, they're not. They're current.
They're this year's sideline hats and stuff. So, geez, no love. No love. Wow. Okay. Passing touchdowns 35.5.
Hey, he likes your hat. What a nice guy. Look at that. So our own Bills Mafia does not like your hat, and we got the Chiefs fan
guy saying he didn't like it.
Liking the hat. Come on, Bills Mafia, do better than that, Chewy.
Tommy, 35.5. Yeah, I agree. I think Kincaid's going to add so much to this offense.
Oh, dude, like
I can't wait.
Yeah, dude. Like if all goes planned the way I see it, I could definitely see him breaking like a tight end, like a Bills tight end record, meaning most yards for a tight end this season. Because we haven't had the greatest tight end. It's not like we've had these unbelievable tight ends. I'd have to pull that up, but I think it's only like 4 something. So it's not not
okay. So Chewy's asking the real over
for a rookie tight end, by the way.
Yeah. Chewy's asking the real over under question we should be talking about.
Yeah.
It depends on if we're winning or losing. If we're winning, 5 is the over-under, 4.5. If we're losing, the over-under sets at 6.5.
I mean, I'm weird with drinking like beer. Like I'm around anywhere between 4 and 6 during the game, which I'm not like. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not a huge drinker. Like I drink about 4 to 6 Coronas, but then remember I come on here and do a post game, and I drink probably 2 or 3 more. So I could be at about 9 by the time everything's over. You know what I mean? Yeah. But during the game, probably around 6 the most.
Yeah. So we have touchdown passes 35.5. Over under.
I'm gonna say over.
Yep. And if that happens and Mahomes hits it as well, which I expect that he will, because Mahomes just will find Kelsey probably for 40 of them himself. They're the first 2 to have 35 plus touchdowns in 4 straight seasons. That's just, it's just them 2 by themselves in the records books. Got to tip your cap to those fellas.
Damn, Scott coming in saying KK 11 touchdowns, 800 yards.
Woo!
I mean, that's
the rookie of the year. I think he very much could.
I think he could, but I don't think he will. I think realistically, and listen, I'm not saying he can't do this. So don't kill me. But I think realistically, and by the way, this would be a very good season for a rookie. I could see him having something around like 8 touchdowns and 675 yards, somewhere around that range. And that is not bad at all. Think about it. Like Dawson Knox didn't get 8 touchdowns to his third year, right? You know what I mean? So for a rookie, and like 675 is nearing 700. Let's just say 700. That is a very good season for a tight end rookie. Very good. And considering that Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Trent Sherfield, Dawson Knox, there's a lot of weapons for Josh Allen.
James Cook.
You know what I mean? I'm just Hardy. I'm just, as another side weapon. I'm just saying, like, he would really have to be targeting Kincaid for those kind of numbers. If
Kincaid to hit 811, he becomes wide receiver 2. He becomes a second weapon.
100%. No, there's no doubt about it. Like that kind of
year.
Yeah, kind of year.
But he's going to need that kind of year to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I agree. I don't know. Like that's really tough, man.
So it'll be interesting to see. What would make you happy with Kincaid? I think 60 catches, 600 yards, more than 5 touchdowns, and I think I'm satisfied with his year. But I think he could be like what Scott says. If we use him the right way and we make him a focal point of an offense with Diggs, I think he could get 70 catches, 800 yards, and 10 plus touchdowns.
100%. I agree too, but I
don't know if that will happen, but it could happen if they make him a focal point.
No, I get it, but he's like I said, I got to see in the regular season. We haven't really seen still a lot, though. Yeah. We've heard a lot, saw a lot of highlights in camp. Mm-hmm. He looks the par. I'm not, and I think he will be that guy, but I also think he's still in a way learning the NFL speed as well. Like there is some things you got to factor in. Also the whole, Josh Allen and him connecting right away. Like there's going to be some things. There's going to be some rough moments for him, I think, too. Route running sometimes he might be, pass blocking. Like there's going to be things that he's going to have to learn as he goes on. But listen, man, I think like I said earlier, if he gets over 600 yards, 7-8 touchdowns, that's a very good rookie year. I can't complain because then year 2, oh my God, talk about the expectations going into year 2 after that year 1. We're talking potentially, a 900, maybe 1,000-yard receiver the following year, tight end. You know what I mean? Follow that up. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all, Mikey.
Thanks, One Arrowhead Drive. Yeah, but best luck to you too. We'll be seeing each other again, probably a couple times. Hopefully, it's twice this year. Last year we only got the one meeting. Hopefully, it's twice this year.
Yeah.
Chewy comes in and says, "Who's the surprise of the season on offense besides Kincaid?" Sherfield. I think Sherfield's going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm gonna piggyback off that as well, but I'm also gonna go with Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is on a mission to quiet his critics. I do. I really do. I think he's had a hell of a camp. You saw it in the preseason game. Like he looks legit. He's ready. It's a contract year. Okay. And I just think I think the world of him, man. And I think Stephon Diggs does as well. I think Stephon Diggs believes in him. Mm-hmm. Josh believes in him. That is Josh's, second guy up, man. Like Josh goes to him a lot, man. He trusts him. That means he trusts him. But so
would Davis be a surprise? Would Davis be a surprise?
It would be a surprise. It would be a surprise because I don't think anyone's expecting it. I think a lot of people are like,
I'm expecting him to be wide receiver too.
No, I'm talking about a surprise year.
Yeah, I'm not
on offense.
Like I think he's gonna
have like over 1,000 yards. I think would be surprising for some people that are doubting him, especially around the NFL. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got to remember too, the thing going around is especially with our good old buddy Chris Sims, is that Josh Allen has no other weapons besides Diggs. And that's a shot on Gabe Davis, right? That he had nobody else.
James Cook,
right? I'm just saying on wide receiver wise, So I just feel like once again I think Gabe Davis is out to prove a lot of doubters wrong. That's all. I think he goes over 1,000, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think Sherfield is going to be the surprise guy. I think Sherfield's going to crack 500, probably close to 600 yards this year.
Yeah.
You know, because I think we're going to have four guys who have above 600 yards. I think it's going to be Dig, Davis, Kincaid, and Shakir from a wide receiver position.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and then we're going to have, you know, Hardy's going to have a bunch of yards. I don't know if they're all going to be receiving yards, because I think they're going to use him in a lot of different ways.
Gadget
I think they're going to put him in the
stuff,
back. I think they're going to put him backfield. I think they're going to put him, you know, run jet sweeps, throw bubble screens to him. They're going to use them all over the place. I think James Cook will probably have, you know, 1,200 total yards this year. Probably have 800 rushing and 400 receiving. Something along those lines.
Yeah, that's where I had him, Mikey. I think I forgot who I was talking to, but I could see him going about like 1,300 yards, little over 1,000 in running, and he got, you know, probably 400, maybe 500 receiving yards, somewhere around there.
That's 15.
600 maybe, like 9, you know, a little under 1,000. I said running like 900, somewhere around there.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said over 1,000. I thought you said over 1,000.
No, overall, like over, like total yards.
Yeah. Okay. No excuses for Diggs this year, Tommy. No ankle excuses. No, I think I want to see Diggs. You know, I want to see Davis. Sorry, not Diggs. I want to see Davis have a healthy, good season and see what he really is.
Yeah, it wasn't an ankle excuse though. Like that shit was like real. I mean, no one's giving it. Listen, once again, no Triggs. Like I get it, but this is why I mean, Mikey. What I mean about surprises is Triggs. And it's okay, but Triggs doesn't believe in him, clearly. He thinks that Davis probably can't do that. What I'm saying, that's okay. But I don't think that's an excuse if you're legit hurt. Like, that definitely played a part in him. And he admitted that. He admitted mentally it fucked him up. Like, and that's okay. Like, I respect anyone that says mentally, you know what, for some reason, I couldn't get back in it. And I kept telling Mikey all last season, you remember, Mikey? I'm like, damn, I wonder if it's mental, too. You know what I mean? Like him running his routes, he just doesn't want to do certain things that he normally does because he's thinking about his ankle, you know? So I don't know.
I want to see a healthy year from Davis and have him have a big year and go get paid a lot of money elsewhere. That's what I want to see. Bring back that comp pick, baby. Bring back that comp pick. Scott says we'll have 2 over 1,000 and 3 more over 750. I like it. The rest receiving will total 800. I like it. You know? If he's going over 5,000, like Scott thinks, we will have that.
It's very possible because if you look at the 2002 roster with Bledsoe, I wish I could see Bledsoe's stats right now, but I think Bledsoe had around 4,500, I think, somewhere around that, Mikey. But he had Molds at almost 1,300, Price at 1,250. And he had Josh Reed at 500. And then he had a couple other receivers, you know, up there, 300-400.
Yeah.
And then Travis Henry had almost 1,500 rushing yards. So it's very possible. I don't know about 3 over 750. That would be a really unbelievable season.
You have to remember, Scott has him over 5,000. Throwing him for over 5,000.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, that would be crazy. But I could definitely see 2 over 1,000. I could definitely see possibly 2 over 600 to be fair. And then I could see another one going around 400, 3 to 4 around that range. But man, that would be a 6. That's an MVP type season for Josh Allen if you could put those kind of stats up for the players.
All right, so let's keep moving through this. Pass interceptions, 13.5. How many is Josh going to throw? Over, under? I have him under.
I'm going to say, I hope under. I really do. Because what did he have last year? 14?
He had 14 last year.
And the year before he had 15, correct?
He had 15, and the year before that he had 11.
Funny because they say Dable controlled him so good. I'm like, you do know that Josh Allen threw more interceptions the year when Dable was there.
He just threw more red zone interceptions last year, which is why they're.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying he still wasn't Mr. Clean with the ball when Dable was here either. Yeah. His best season was that 2020, I believe, when he had 8 interceptions. He only had 8. So he could definitely be in that range, Mikey. So I'm going to say under.
Okay.
I'm going to say under on
Yeah,
that one.
I have it too. I have him going between 10 and 12 this year.
I think 12 and under, somewhere around it. But you're right.
Yeah.
Between 10 and 12 is and
is
you know what?
I
That's fine. I can deal with that. It's still a little bit high. You know what I mean? You want to be under 10. You want to be under 10, but
Roy's like,
if he's throwing, put it this way though, Mikey, if he's throwing for that many yards, let's say hypothetically,
he's gonna have picks.
Right. There's gonna be some,
bad throws, bounce off the receiver's hands.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Things, because you have to remember 4 of his interceptions last year were gifts from the receivers to the defense.
Yeah.
Like McKenzie literally handed the ball in the first game to the defense.
Oh, dude. Exactly. You're gonna okay. So Triggs, you're gonna blame that on fucking Dorsey for that? That was popped right in the helmet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, we didn't have the greatest offensive line either. You kind of and remember too, I will say Josh Allen, some of it's on him, bro. Yep. Josh Allen loves to be in shotgun and in the red zone. I don't know why, but trust me, Dorsey's going with what Josh feels the most comfortable with. But I will say though, Mikey, now that we have running backs who can go into the end zone and pick up, 2-3 yards.
Yeah, it's not just running backs. It's also Kincaid. Kincaid's a red
No, I know.
threat.
I'm just saying though, like for short yard, like instead of just always passing is my point. And we can actually, maybe even do a play action.
Yeah. Touching on Triggs is saying I put it on Dorsey. I put some of it on Dorsey. I also put some of it on Brandon Beane. He didn't give Josh enough red zone to where he felt comfortable. And that's part of it. So do I think some of it's on Josh, some of it's on Dorsey, some of it's on Beane for not giving Josh what he needs. And Beane, when he has failed Josh, he's come back the next year and corrected that. He did that this year again. He went and got Kincaid, he went and got Sherfield, he went and got Hardy. Then he drafted better interior linemen and brought in interior linemen, got a couple, bigger running backs for short yardage. Like he realized what he needed to get to help his quarterback so he doesn't have to feel like he has to do it all himself. Or make his offensive coordinator feel like Josh has to do it all himself.
Yeah.
I imagine Dorsey went to Beane and said, listen, here's a list of stuff I need. And all those were probably on it.
You got to have the personnel sometimes, guys, to draw up the play. You can't just draw up a play and not have the personnel because it's not going to work. So just throwing that out there as well.
Gabe, sure hands. I hope so. Nothing I've seen in his career tells me he has sure hands. He always makes clutch catches. He has the clutch gene.
Who are we talking about? Knox?
No, he said the drop rate will be minimal this year. Sherfield, Diggs, Kincaid, Hardy, Gabe this year. Knox, solid hands. They all have sure hands.
Okay, so
I do agree with most of that. And Knox has trended up. Everyone's trended up except for Gabe.
Yeah. But I will say though, last year, even I think Diggs had the most drops in his career.
Yeah.
Last year. I think we for the second year in a row, we were second or third in drop percentage as a team. So I think overall, it's not just one or two players. Now, of course, one or two stand out, but I think overall they need to get better at their drop percentage. No doubt about it. Can they? Of course, we all know Diggs, is a great catch. Like, how rare was that last year? That's not going to happen again. And I think Gabe Davis will bounce back. And Dawson Knox has been better, like Mikey said. So, and we all know Dalton Kincaid is as sure-handed as you can get, right? So, Trent Sherfield, we'll see.
So is Hardy. Hardy has great hands.
He does.
Even though he's smaller, he has great hands.
Yeah.
So let's go next. Sacks given up, 32.5.
That wasn't his fault, done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, in the preseason, bounced right off his hands. That was his fault.
No, but the defense was right on. You got to give the defense sometimes some love. That was a really
that was a play. Drop. It was a drop. It hit him in the hands and he dropped it.
I get it. But he also had a guy draped on him. I'm just saying you got to give the defense sometimes a little credit too if they're draped on him. I'm not saying
I want the Josh Allen video at you.
Oh, you want that?
I want the Josh Allen video at you.
You want the Josh Allen?
Okay. That was for you, Tommy.
All right.
Sacks given up 32.5 over under. I have it under. I think with a better offensive line, Josh will get hit less. He had 33 sacks last year.
100% under. 100%. Listen, the one thing a lot of people are not talking about, and they won't, because at least national media, like most Bills content creators are the smart ones like us, will talk about it. But we finally got younger at offensive line, and we brung in some solid depth. Once again, that nobody's talking about, but that's okay. And we drafted probably the best guard, or I know he is the best guard coming out of that draft. And I think a future Pro Bowler and Osiris Torrance, who everybody, I cannot believe he dropped a second round, who everybody was doubting would start week 1. And I told you all.
That was me too.
He would earn it. And
I didn't think we would draft him. I didn't think he would start week 1.
I know, it's crazy.
Proving me wrong.
Yeah. So listen, man, that dude's a stud. I think the only real question of a whole bunch is still Spencer Brown. And I'm a realist. Even though I'm rooting for him, I still think he can potentially be a good right tackle. But he's still, even in preseason, was a little shaky at times. So we'll see how that works. But overall, though, this is our best offensive line, at least right now, that's been with Josh Allen, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree. And you said we've gotten younger, and we did all across the line. The oldest offensive lineman we have is 31, and that's Mitch Morris.
Exactly.
And the rest of them, like even our backups, we brought Alec Anderson, who's a second-year guy. And Fetty's like 27, I think.
Yeah, I like that pickup as well. Young guy that Cromer could work with.
Yep, Vandermark's 25. So I like that we've gotten younger and more athletic on the offensive line. Yeah, and then we have the double wide right there at right guard.
100%.
Okay, so let's go to the rushing stats. Over unders, 2,249.5 yards as a team. I have us over.
Yeah, because you got to factor in Josh Allen.
Yep.
Because
I think we're also going to run more.
I would say under if it wasn't for Josh for sure. But I'm going to say over on that because I think Cook can get around that 8-9 maybe range.
Yeah, and then you'll get 200 or 300 from Harris and
right. I think Harris can get even more if he stays healthy. I think Harris could be a 400 or 500 yard back. I mean, if that's a big
I meant 200 or 300 for both Harris and the
okay. And I think Allen picks up another 400, 300 to 400, 300, 400, 500 around there, depending on how much they want to run him this year. But yeah, I think you're right on that.
One Era Drive comes in and asks, I'm just wondering for myself, your confidence in the leadership of the Bills. Personally, I've stopped listening to the national and even the local casters of propaganda. I'll tell you, it's a point of contention in Buffalo within the Mafia. Mm-hmm. We thank McDermott and Bean for everything they've done, and more so McDermott than Bean.
Yep.
But they have to get us over the hump. It's no different than Andy Reid when he was in Philly. Previous to the Kansas City, tenure, Andy Reid was always labeled as the guy who couldn't get him over the hump. Couldn't win the big one. And then he got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, who's just a game wrecker, and he's figured it out.
Yeah.
I would like to see McDermott do it here, but if he can't, I don't want to see us waste Allen's whole career hoping that he can get us over the hump.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on. So my stance. Mikey knows my stance. I've said it multiple times in videos and live streams. This is me personally. My last year, wanting McDermott to be the head coach if he can't get the job done. Like if McDermott fails again in the playoffs, it's another playoff failure. I'm done with the Sean McDermott experience. And that's not a knock on McDermott. He's been here now 7 years. It'll be a 7-year right now.
6 out of 7 in the playoffs.
Right. I will say nothing but good things about that dude on the way out the door. But
forever.
That's what I'm saying. Forever. Right. He will always be one of the best coaches that we've had here in Buffalo. No doubt about it. Okay. But the facts are the facts. And you got to eventually go, hey, we got a young quarterback still here. Right. We got Stephon Diggs still here, but even he is starting to starting to crack because of this. And who knows what happens if this doesn't work out again with Diggs? Is he gonna eventually say, "Yo, things got to change, man"? I keep telling y'all, because I think that's the whole problem. And will this team eventually just not believe, right? And I think there will be a point where fans will eventually just have to go, man. They're going to stop believing the hype of McDermott can finally get the job done. The whole trust the process. I think that by the way, that whole trust process is over with. So yeah, this is it for me personally. And I don't think they'll get rid of him. I think even if he fails the playoffs, I think they keep him one more year. I think they strip the defensive coordinator position away from him. I think they hire outside, and I think they see how it goes the following season. And if it goes bad, let's say it's bad by midway or something, it's not going right, I could see a firing during the season even. But right now, I'm rooting for the dude. I like the dude. I do. I love what he's done here. But you have to eventually figure the playoff wall out, man.
Uh-huh. I don't disagree. All right, so let's keep moving through this because we still have a bunch, and we've already been here for an hour 6. Rushing TDs, over under 14.5. I have us over.
As a whole
team.
14 touchdown over 14.
14.5.
14.5. Okay.
We had 15 last year, rushing touchdowns.
Josh, so we definitely right. So we got Murray now. Obviously, we got Harris if Harris can stay healthy. Yeah, I'll say over 15.
All right. Penalties. 89.5. I have us over because nothing this preseason is told me we're going to go less.
Yeah, I agree.
A whole other game added to it.
I agree. I think it's probably more because I don't know. Now that McDermott's calling plays now. It's just like, I don't know. I for some reason, one thing that he is so, we got penalties, he preaches it, but yet he doesn't know how to correct it. Or doesn't know how to get the players to stop doing these dumb boneheaded penalties. So I hope it's under, but I'm going to say over just because of everything I just said.
Scott says under. Elam isn't starting, so you don't have to worry about the holding.
Well, that's true. That does help.
Yeah, the issues isn't so much the pass interference. Most of it is offsides or false starts, or just can't have that. They're being too loyal to. What it says they're being too loyal to McDermott. Just a feeling Timbergo is not realizing it's an office-driven league now. I think they're trying to give him. They just signed him to a new contract, so I'm with Tommy. I think he has 2 more years at least. If it doesn't happen in the 2 years, I think they'll look at that point to move on. And I hope he realizes it's an offensive-driven league. And I hope our next head coach, if it's not McDermott, which I still hope it is. I hope McDermott stays here for forever and is a Belichick type and he wins multiple Super Bowls here.
Right.
But if it's not, we need to bring in an offensive guy with Josh.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
So defense over under. Pass yards, 32.5. Last year we had 34.40, I think. I have us over because we had one less game last year.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with that.
Different scheme. We're gonna be more aggressive. I have a feeling we're gonna get hit for a few more big plays this year, but we're gonna have more sacks.
I agree with that.
Okay. Rush yards, 1672.5. I also have it over as we have another game. And nothing I've seen in the offseason tells me that we fixed the run defense. So
I agree with that too. Especially with the middle linebacker right now, because what's going on there. And no Von Miller for the first 5 games, probably. Well, I know for sure, but and Von Miller's one of our better run stoppers. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be terrible our run defense, but I think until Kirksey gets in there, until Von gets back, it's going to be, we're going to still give those big gashes from time to time. So yeah, I agree with you there. Over.
Okay. Sacks 39.5. I have us over. I think we're going to have more sacks this year.
100%. Rousseau's going to be 10 plus, in my opinion. AJ Epinesa, who also took a step forward last year.
Take a step back. I think he's ended with 5. I don't think he's ended 6.
I don't. I think he's right around where he was last year. I think he could possibly get around 7, which is nothing crazy. That's not like and he's having more opportunity now that Von's out to get a little bit more opportunity.
Well, he's still in 3 because
no, I know, but he's still going to get more. He's still going to get opportunity, a little bit more opportunity. I still think he gets more opportunity, more snap counts. And the Boogie's not there either, by the way. But even though Boogie wasn't going to play a factor, but I think he gets about 6.5 to 7. I think he matches. And I also think Floyd's going to get his average as well the past 3 seasons. I think he gets 9. Yep. Okay. That's where I see it. And I think when Von gets back, depending on what week, because I don't want to be week 6. Sure. I'm going on that, 6. But it's not. So let's say week 6. So he has 11 games there.
Yeah.
Right.
Week 6.
I'm going to say he's going to have around 7 to 8 sacks.
I think he's going to have 9.
Okay. Hey, that's
he had 8. He had 8 and 11.
But really you got to remember though,
10 games last year.
But the first couple games I think are going to be, maybe a little slower, and then he'll turn up the juice once he gets the rust off because he has no preseason, obviously no.
I think he has a defensive line to help him get more sacks.
I agree. Yeah, hey, listen, you never with Von Miller. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't say you're wrong.
He's a freak nature. Right. Frazier, in my opinion, was the choke artist. Scott, I love how positive you've been all night, brother. I do. I love it. He says Terry knows, great owner. McDermott's gonna have a great year. Frazier, in my opinion, was the choke artist with the running that prevent from winning the defense. Yeah, I prevents you from winning. You're right. That's what it
Somebody did you see that? Some player from Minnesota talked about Frazier.
Chad Greenway. Former middle linebacker, ripped
on him.
Says he hates that Tampa 2 soft zone shit.
Yikes, and I do too, buddy. I'm right on board with you.
Ed, I don't think Ed's only going to end up with 2. I think he's going to have 7 or 8 sacks this year too.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that as well. Yeah.
I think Jordan Phillips is going to have 5 or 6. I think we're going to be well over
if he can stay healthy.
39.5.
We will.
Interception,
and you're not counting other guys like the linebackers Milano, who I think is going to be Taylor Rapp, who
our safeties and corners
exactly. Yeah. So the exotic looks that McDermott's going to bring this year, I think we'll get that sack total up.
Ooh, I like that, Scott. 55 sacks.
Yeah.
Interceptions 16.5 over under. We had 17 last year.
Well, I'm going to say over because of Trey White being back 100% now, and it's year 2 of Christian Benford, who will only get better, and you got DeMar and I'm sorry, not DeMar. You got Jordan Porter and Micah Hyde, both back healthy. I feel like it's going to be over.
I have an over 2 with Micah, just with Micah Hyde returning him without the whole healthy Trey White. Exactly. Micah Hyde just has a weird way of getting his hand on the ball and somebody coming up with it. Tip drill. Fumble recoveries 20.5. This is the last one.
Okay. I don't know.
We had 21 last year fumble recoveries. I have a feeling it's going to be over.
I'll go over on that. I don't know how much more over.
But I have a feeling you're going to see more sack fumbles.
That sounds like you're right. Getting to the quarterback. Yep. I got you with that.
I don't think it's going to be like, our linebacker hits him or our corner hits him and they fumble.
Right.
It's going to be more of as we bring pressure, we're going to cause more turnovers that way.
Yep. I agree.
All right. So the only 2 that we had over on, or the only 2 we had under on, was interceptions and sacks given up. So everything else is over this year.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Nice.
So that's that's our season prediction. The one I didn't ask you about. Bills offensive MVP and defensive MVP.
Offensive MVP is going to be Josh Allen. Josh, like we were talking about earlier with the potential he has for throwing, to all these receivers getting that many yards for them, right?
Mhm.
Sharing the getting the ball, pretty much everyone getting involved. Yeah, if he near, if he can get up there in yards, I'm talking 47, 48, and all those touchdowns thrown as well to these players. Yeah, he's definitely going to be an MVP for us on offense.
He's gonna be the MVP
no
of the
doubt.
league.
Yeah, MVP of the league. Yeah, 100%. And on defense, I'm going to go with my man, Gregory Rousseau. I think Gregory Rousseau, once again, has another unbelievable giant step forward and gets 10 plus sacks. I'm going to say he gets 12 on the year this year, or maybe even more, but I'm going to go 12. I think Gregory Rousseau will be causing havoc on offensive lines this year. So that's my MVP on defense.
I love it, and that's who I probably would have went with. But since you went with him, we can't both have the same two.
Right.
I'm gonna go Micah Hyde.
Ooh, I like it.
I think Micah Hyde's return, and it's not just a Micah Hyde return. It's Micah Hyde's return to normal daily, normal life function.
Right.
Because Micah has talked about it. The last 3 or 4 years, he struggled with his neck.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any of that pain. He says he feels like he's in his early 20s again, running around.
Right.
I have a feeling you're going to see the best Micah Hyde we've seen yet.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
I agree.
So I'm going to say Micah Hyde.
All right, nice. Who's your offense?
The offense is Allen.
Yeah. Still stick with this thing.
I think Allen's going to be the league MVP. So it's hard to go with anybody but him.
See, Scott, I don't think that because Trey's never been an interception guy. He's always been
lockdown guy.
Sticky defender. He's never been high on interception, so I don't think that. Does he get a good amount? Maybe probably gets like I could see him get 5.
You know who usually gets all the interceptions is Poyer. Hyde
Poyer was leading the league last year.
Hyde will get his hand on it, and Poyer will come down with the pick. It's just like
Poyer's always around the ball for some reason. Always. Yeah. So I could see that as well. Poyer leading our team with interceptions.
But I think Hyde will be the MVP. He's going to come back, and I think he's going to settle the secondary down.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
So
all right. Anything else?
No.
Oh, by the way, so real quick, so Friday night will be our preview show for the Bills versus Jets. You don't want to miss that. That's at 8:30. Also. Tomorrow is the wrestling nuclear heat wave at 7:30, guys. Thursday, Mafia Means Family podcast is on as well at 7:30. So show them some love, guys. You know what I mean? If you love this channel, show them some love as well. He's young, little kid, man, 12 years old, man, doing his thing out here for you guys. So 7:30, try to tune in on that. And then Saturday is the AFC East shakedown at 6:00. You guys don't want to miss that either. And then, of course, you guys know about the membership for the Mafia Sports Report. If you guys want to join, it's up to you.
Some people in here. Sarah was in here earlier. And a couple others.
Yep. And they've joined already. So thank you for everyone that's joined so far. I think we have like 4 or 5 members already that joined, Mikey. Yep. So thank you for everyone that's joined so far. But if you join, obviously, this year you're going to be like, I'll have like separate videos for you guys. There's a chat, a lot of cool little things there. So, and you're just helping out the channel grow. So overall, man, I love you guys, Bills Mafia. You guys. Oh, Scott, you just have to go into, matter of fact, the link is in the description of this video you're watching, this live stream. So all you have to do is hit the description and you'll see the link below. Can't miss it. Can't. It says join, I promise you. So anyways, guys, Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills.
Go Bills.
We're out of here. Peace. I never ended the stream, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so once again, Bills Mafia, we love you. As always, go Bills. We're out.